one of the coolest endorsements that I've gotten. I use endorsement loosely. It's not like I'm getting flown around on private jets or anything. Just so you guys know, it's like, hey, you can have this thing, use it. That's what an endorsement is. So I've gotten endorsements from a lot of smaller companies, but most notably, most recently, I got this thing. It's a PRS Custom 24 S2, and I'm going to use this section to kind of go over my rig a little bit, in case you guys are wondering. I don't know. Raise your hand if you're into gear. Yes. Who didn't raise their hand? Well, I was hoping at least maybe mildly into it, just because it's fun. These are like toys, so I want to tell you guys about my toys and also give thanks to PRS for hooking this up. It's always been a dream of mine to even be affiliated with PRS, and the reason it happened was because I played this guitar, which maybe some of you guys would recognize from my other videos, and they saw the guitar, they saw the views and the engagement with the audience, and they're like, okay, this guy's worthy of this thing. So I got this PV Classic 30, which you'll be hearing a lot of. I promise I'm not going to talk the whole time. Both of these things I'm extremely grateful for, and Keith, that guy back there, owner of Island Music, was the one who kind of facilitated everything, so I'm extremely grateful for you, Keith. I kind of consider this instrument, this amp, as a validation for what I'm doing, so it's kind of all just kind of picked up in the last few months. I'm going to go over this board now. I have a Polytune 2 by TC Electronic. This is what it does. Sounds great, right? Next up, I have a pedal that I learned about at NAMM. It's called the Seymour Duncan Palladium. It's a gain stage pedal, and this is what it does. This is my clean sound. Here's the Palladium. Does that. It also has a cool boost. Next on board, we have the MXR La Machine. And this is definitely the most I don't need this pedal that I've ever gotten. But I think maybe you guys can relate. There's always something that we don't need that we need to have. So this is that. It's that thing, that kind of Octavia. It's a little more dirty than the classic Octavia. And normally I would play that something like this. So it does that. When it's paired with other things, I think it's worthwhile to have on the board. Next we have this little thing that I kicked on. It's a Wampler Tumnus, and it does a boost type thing. So this is with hardly any gain. Just thickens everything up. And I like to use this just as an overall kind of always on type thing. It can get really classic rocky sounding. So that is the Wampler Tumnus. And next up, we have a recent change on the board. I had a MXR carbon copy, which has been switched over to a Wampler tape echo. Faux tape echo delay, to be exact. Following it, we have the Keeley chorus. Real rich. And then, of course, we have this thing. And if I messed up like that, I can just stop it. Loop Station by Boss. And it's all powered by a T-Rex fuel tank. I don't know if you guys have ever experimented with loop pedals, but sometimes you can go into what I call guitar time, where you're about to go out the door and, you know, maybe your wife's like, all right, cool, 5 minutes. And I was like, yeah, 5 minutes. And then 5 minutes turns into 5,000 minutes. Happens to the best of us.